What is up, interwebs? I hope you're doing very, very well today. If you've never seen any of my videos before, my name is Mariah, and today I wanted to talk about something that is a little different, and I know that some people see what I'm about to talk about and just immediately jump to the conclusion that it's horrifying, terrifying, and is an indicator that somebody is into devil worship, whatever they take that to be, as real as it is or not. And what I wanted to talk about is Baphomet. Scary, I know. However, I was meditating just a few minutes ago, and this has been something, usually when I get ideas for my videos, it's something that I can feel in like the back of my head, and then it starts to develop over the days and maybe even weeks, and I tend to receive it all while I'm in meditation, and that happened to me today. And I wanted to explain what the caricature of Baphomet is to me, in the hopes that it would maybe open up the eyes of some other people that it's not scary, and the fact that there are elites or celebrities or whoever using this symbol to scare people. It is merely another veil, another smoke screen for the actual work that they're really doing behind the scenes that has real power and has real impact on your day-to-day life. They don't want you to know that, because then when you know it, you can do the same things as they do. And I do believe that a lot of the celebrities can access their levels of power through rituals, of course, and I do believe that they engage in practices that are not exactly healthy for their life, including working with demons. And well, I see them as archons. I think that demons are archons, and they can receive a certain level of bounty, I guess you want to call it, money, recognition, fame, what have you. However, it's usually in some sort of agreement that is not beneficial for their life it as a whole, which is why you see some people reach superstardom and then they die really young, or you see that they start to decay and they need to have all these plastic surgeries in order to keep up with how they look, and whatever, what have you. However, I do just want to chat about Baphomet because people see the caricature, which it really is a caricature that was made in the late 1800s, somewhere around there, by, I think it was Elias, something Levi, and it was a guy that I don't even think he's Jewish. I think he decided to take a Hebrew name, and that is what he has gone by, and that's the signature on the caricature, because people's ideas of Baphomet, that the classic up and down hand symbol, and then you see like this kind of demonic entity that's like a male female hybrid that has horns, and it's a goat, and whatever. It's a pretty unsettling image. However, it is an image. It's a cartoon that was made by this guy, and it was populated as that cartoon, I believe, for the purpose of scaring people away from who Baphomet really is. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know what I'm going to say, that Baphomet is the goddess, and goddess worship has been so demonized and hidden and ridiculed that you can see that there is this effort to turn everyday people away from her, and then turn them to the other thing that they want people to worship, which is different Abrahamic religions and their various ways of gatekeeping their own practices. And I just think that if you have to pay somebody to tell you that you're absolved of your sins or whatever, and you have to confess these things to this guy in like a veiled way. It just doesn't, like, that just doesn't say to me that it's 100% legit, because and obviously I'm thinking of the Catholic Church in this sense, if the Catholic Church was actually based on moving life forward, there wouldn't be so many issues within the Catholic Church, and they wouldn't be, needing everybody's money and creating all of these opulent things. And it's not that we shouldn't have opulence and beauty, it's just that, there's been a lot of destruction and things against life that has been perpetuated by the Catholic Church. Not only that, there's so much cover up that they can't even cover it up anymore. Right? So, the church and Christian fathers and things like that will often perpetuate an image that is that was supposed to be of the goddess and of something that is healing and focuses on life for humans, and then will, demonize it, which turns the masses of people away who have been brought up in religion, who have been told that, witchcraft, women, all these things are scary and evil, and then they see this image and they're like, oh, right, like that's why we need the church, that's why we need church fathers, that's why we need all of these different things, right? So when there's scary images like Baphomet circulated, it adds to that. It adds to the fear, where people turn away from those images and they turn to the church, who receives money and doesn't pay taxes and whatever. So the specific issue of Baphomet is that, of course, people see it as a demon and then just turn away, and they often think that all of these celebrities and stuff are demon worshipping and whatever, and I believe that, a lot of them might be. However, this position that Baphomet holds, and people, say as above, so below, and fine, great, I think that maybe that could be what it means. However, you need to flesh that out, you need to flesh that out a little bit. If you just say as above, so below, then, like, what does that really mean? Is there something above us that is telling us how to act down here? Are we below? Are we above? Like, what does it even mean, right? So in my opinion, the as above, so below is kind of a more blah, blah, blah that goes along with this caricature that is not exactly clear, because I do think that a lot of these messages that we get, a lot of the, isms and the stuff that is perpetuated in manly pee halls, secret teaching for all ages, is just more blah, blah, blah without actually explaining what it means. And, if you're entry level and you want that, great, go for it. However, I just find it just gets people running in circles, where they say, oh yeah, as above, so below, that's what it means. And as above, so below, that means that the stars influence us. And, they can, but if you follow the storyline that I share about the fallen goddess scenario, then, there's the inference that the planets around us, the 7 planets around us exclusive of Earth, are the archons. So when we give that power, as above, so below, saying that the planets are in our immediate solar system control us, then we are giving them the power to control us. Now, I don't think that the original pointing up is what that means, or even if it is as above, so below, that the real meaning of it is not fleshed out, and it gets lost on a lot of people, because there are lots of arts, depictions and things in, even in the Gnostic Gospels, the Nag Hammadi codices, about pointing upwards. And in my opinion, and kind of what I've been piecing together in meditation, is that this pointing upwards, and the Catholic Church uses this as a blessing, this pointing upwards is pointing to the pleroma. This is pointing to our galactic core. Now, what is the significance of that? you know, as in, what is the significance of as above, so below? Well, if we go all the way above in our context and in the context of humans here on this earth, when we're pointing above and we point to the pleroma, we as humans are recognizing that that is where we come from. Okay? And this is what is so significant and so powerful to really know and embody, is that there is a force that is not human that is working to sever human connection to the pleroma, to where we come from, to where we as humans, as divine beings, were created with intention by the mother and father of our species. If that's something that is so beyond anything you've ever heard about, definitely check out my other videos. Anything about the Gnostic story, the origin of humanity, things like that. And check out Mr. John Lamb Lash's work. Get his book, Not His Image. I'm pointing because I have it up on my shelf. It is incredible, especially his new edition. You can also go to, I think it's fallengoddessscenario.org, where you can get the episodes and his breakdown of like this whole scenario. Because it really is a scenario, and it really is just this new, well, it's ancient, but it's this telling of the story that is freeing for humanity on all levels. So what does it mean that humanity came from the pleroma? Well, the pleroma, which is a Greek word for the fullness, you'll find this word in the Nag Hammadi Codices, which were 13 books that were left out of the, the regular canon of the Bible, and were found as this boy in Egypt was looking for firewood or kindling or whatever. He found these texts, and they're incredible, and they have this story in them. And then that pieced together with other primary sources such as, Irenaeus, and how he says that the Gnostics are heretics and blah, blah, blah. Well, he outlines what the Gnostics believed, and it has that story in there of there being somewhere, that is identified as the pleroma, which John Lamb Lash has identified as the galactic core of our galaxy, of the Milky Way galaxy, for the purposes of our story and our creation. And this is where there are giant creator beings that make all the creations that we see, and then they send them through little filaments through the membrane of the pleroma into what is called the kenoma, which is the galaxy, in our case, the Milky Way galaxy. So there are these beings. This is, how things get created in the first place. And of course there's a process up there that goes on, but I don't like to get into that because it's just adds a lot more stuff that might not be 100% relevant at this time. And these creator beings exist in male-female pairs. So the male-female pair of Sophia, wisdom, and Thelete as the male, which is intention, they entered their sacred dance of creation, and they created the beautiful, wonderful human genome. Now, as John Lamb Lash points out, they may have over-endowed us with genius capabilities and perhaps sprinkled on like a little too much that had got us, sorry, there's like a hair right on my nose, that had got us in cataclysm after cataclysm of humans not being able to really embody the gifts that we were given, and instead just choosing to like destroy each other. Does that ring any bells? That if you hear that in today's world, that's not going to surprise anybody, right? So I'll give you a really Sparks Notes version of the story of how humans got here. And it is that Sophia, upon realizing that her beautiful creation humanity was not thriving in the way that we were meant to, being you know, a relatively young Aeon, these beings are called in the Gnostic texts, and, you know, a caring mother. She thought, she didn't think, she thought, my dad says that, and by nature of her being such a creative force, just by that's just what she is, her imagining, her daydreaming of a solution for humanity to thrive compelled her unilaterally, without her male counterpart, to follow that filament that they usually send their creations out on. To it pulled her dreaming mind, her dream body, out of the pleroma and into the Milky Way galaxy as an Aeon. Now, this doesn't typically happen. This is an anomaly. And she did it without her male counterpart, which in the text is called the deficiency. So, to recap, humans, the human genome, created in the pleroma, in the sacred, beautiful dance of the aeons, in the way that creations are meant to happen, in a beautiful way, in a way with care, intention, wisdom, beauty, all of these things that were, you know, meant for us to have, and that we really really are. But because Sophia did this daydreaming of a solution for humanity to thrive without her male counterpart, that created a deficiency when she fell in to the Milky Way galaxy, when she was compelled out of the pleroma by nature of her being a creative being. And it's important to remember, this is her dreaming mind that falls out, and she then begins her journey through space, through the Milky Way galaxy. This is the entrance of the goddess. If you've ever heard of electric universe theory, this is something that they talk about a lot, of the entrance of the comet Venus. And, you know, and I mentioned that the archons are the planets, and I do believe that the aeons can override things and take over those planets. I also believe that archons have the choice to defect to the side of their original mother. However, getting ahead of myself, because she fell into this experiment without her male counterpart, this deficiency created a being that is the absolute inverse of what a ideal man should be, because she did this without her male counterpart. Now, when this happened, she looked at it and she was like, you are an abomination. You were an accident. It was not meant to happen at all. Sorry, but you need to be over here away from me because I'm busy. I am in the middle of this, whatever it is, right? And so this being, by nature of him, you know, being born of Sophia without intention, by accident, but still having some semblance of her, he was sent far away in the galaxy, and he thought he was the only one. Because he had some creative abilities, he created his legions, the archons, and he thought he was the only one around. He said, there will be no other gods but me. I am jealous of blah, blah, blah. You know who I'm talking about at this point. And as soon as he said that, Sophia showed up, and this is in the text, Sophia showed up and said, Nar, I am your mother, and you are not the only one here, and please just, like, leave me alone so that I can continue to create a beautiful setting for the child that I intended. Now, that is what sent him in his envious rage and his vendetta against us, humanity, the wanted child, the ideal child of the same mother, with a father. And the demiurge is who they call this guy. Was born without a father, and he was born as an accident, and that caused him to be envious of us as humans, which is why we have that force working against humanity. Now, there's other stuff that happened, but just fast forwarding the story, eventually the Demiurge had created lifeless planets around, ruled by the Archons. And like I said, I believe that Archons can defect and can choose to be on the side of the, you know, the universal mother of our little area. And eventually Sophia came to the realization as she's barreling through space that humanity needs a planet, a setting, a satellite, the moon, and a source of light, the sun. And so her dreaming body, her dreaming mind coiled up and became our planet Earth. Okay, so Sophia from the Pleroma came all the way down and became our planet Earth. Okay, this is what I think, and what I keep getting intuitive hits and keep seeing messages about, that this is what as above so below means. That, and it might not mean this to everybody, and I believe that there's a lot of people who use this that don't actually understand the true meaning. However, I know that there is a very occulted group, and they know this story, and they do their best to hide it from humanity, that the goddess from the Pleroma came to Earth and became our setting for humanity to thrive. That means that humanity is from the Pleroma and came down to Earth as a part of this whole thing as well. Now, another layer of the Baphomet thing is that there are some researchers, one specifically, I don't remember his name, that has figured out that the word Baphomet is a cipher used by the Templars, a cipher for the name Sophia. Okay? Like, need I say more, you know? And you can think whatever you want about the Templars. However, it's, you know, they've been around for a long time. I'm sure there's different sects that have to do with, you know, moving humanity forward and not moving humanity forward. However, there was a time when they were heavily persecuted by the Catholic Church, I believe, and they had to hide their veneration of the goddess. And that is also why you will see so many churches that are Templar that are dedicated to Mary, to Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ. Now, I love Mother Mary. I love her energy. And I believe that they chose to make all of these churches in veneration of the mother as a way to kind of hide that they really believe that the mother is the be all and end all, and is even the mother of Yahweh. This is who we're dealing with. This is who is here as our planet Earth. And this is who we can commune with in order to move humanity forward. And she is so available. And there is a special place that you can go in meditation, and it can even be within the body. However, I find that when I send my awareness into the earth, into the core of the earth, that is when my life is most harmonious. Okay? And they knew this. The alchemists knew this. This is where the alchemical gold is. It's in the center of our planet. When we connect with that and we have that observation, we connect below. Okay? So there is power in connecting above and below. And this is why in my meditations, every single meditation that I do, and even when I do the guided ones, which now I have a playlist on YouTube for my own guided meditations, this is why I will get you to visualize a beautiful pillar of white light coming from the center of our galaxy, the Pleroma, your original home where you're really first created in prehistory, and all the way down into the center. Well, you go through the body and then down into the center of our planet, which is the core of the dreaming mind of the goddess, our planet Earth, where we are, and who is supporting our life in every single way. And the fact that Baphomet is a cipher for the word Sophia. You know, and then we see these images of this scary looking Baphomet, which was really just an amalgamation of nature and humanity. And Also, this is something that I didn't mention, is that the human genome, as created by the Aeons, was one sex in one person. And the genome got sheared as Sophia was falling through space thanks to the Demiurge. Okay, that's a part of the saga. That's what I kind of skipped over. And she had left the males in Orion to gestate and had the females with her, which is why Amazonian women are a thing, which is why women have such a deep, deep connection to our planet as well as the moon. And it is why Sophia is here in the form of woman, and it is why women are the ones who birth and create, and it is why we are closer to her, and it is also why when men access this, they go through the goddess. That is why the Templars, a pretty much male-dominated organization, knew that they had to venerate the goddess as Mother Mary, as Mary Magdalene, as the female. You know, you can find right now that they call Mary Magdalene the apostle to the apostles. There is this veneration of the goddess, the mother goddess, and also her daughter, in a sense that women can kind of just create like that. And you see that in Demeter and Persephone. You see it in Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. You see it in the Gnostic texts as Sophia and Barbello, or the other way around. Like there is this, I want to call it mitosis. There is this like cloning where we have Sophia, who I haven't fully fleshed this out, but I believe there is still an aspect of her in the Pleroma, and she split her dreaming mind to be here, and that is what planet Earth is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you see as above, so below, or you see the blessing like this, or you see art that is pointing upward, there's some, I think it's by Da Vinci, where there's a guy, and sorry, I should have looked this up before, I don't remember who it is. Probably St. John the Baptist, something like that, where he's pointing upwards. This is a recognition of where humanity comes from. And this recognition is not only a blessing, in the sense that all humans come from this sacred place and were created with intention and beauty and love and care by our goddess, our pleromic mother and father. And we don't really see the pleromic father here so much because this is Sophia's mistake, deficiency to correct, and she is correcting it. We see his influence in Jupiter. We can see his influence in the best versions of Christ. And, you know, I say that in a very cautious way because they have also caricaturized Christ and taken his name and just morphed it into, you know, more child sacrifice and death cult things. But this recognition, like I said, is not only a blessing in indicating where you're from, it is a blessing that shows the recognition that the Old Testament God, the beings working against humanity, that are against life, are not from this place. They are of the kenoma. We are of the pleroma, which means we have more power. We have more power just by nature of who and what we are and where we come from and where we are right now. That we are in the dreaming mind, the dream body of the goddess who made us right now, because she became our setting. She became planet Earth. And this is where she comes from, and this is where we also come from. He is not from that place. The Demiurge and the Archons are not from that place. They are of the solar system. They are of the Kenoma, which means they don't have the same powers that we do, and they cannot connect to the source of their life, which is also the source of our life, in the same way that we do, in the way that we were created with intention. So, all of this to say that the next time you see this Baphomet up-down kind of thing, I want you to recognize that that is a symbol for you being from the sacred pleroma with the goddess. You came here and you are still here now, as she was above, now she is below, and so are you as a human. And it is a beautiful thing to be a part of her, to be given life with her. And that is why life is so sacred, and that is also why these religions that follow the demiurge, which is Old Testament kind of things, Abrahamic religions, that's why they're so focused on death and the afterlife, because they don't have that same semblance of the sacredness of life. They cannot bless in the same way that humans can, just by nature. We have been given so much power, beauty, care, and love, intention, and wisdom that we just don't even notice it. So I want you to know that you, as a beautiful human being, are so sacred and divine and intended, and you are meant to be here. And if you are feeling like you're not meant to be here, I mean this in the nicest way possible, touch grass and sit by a tree, because that is the mother who made you. Connect with your ancestors. Connect with the mother of your life. Connect with nature. Connect with the air all around you. Connect with your body. Say thank you to your body for bringing you here, because your body is the most beautiful and complex creation there ever was, really. And that is a magnificent thing, and that is a gift that we have been given, and life is a gift. And there are beings, like I said, working against life, but by nature of who we are versus what they are, they don't have the same power. We have so much more power just by who we are, by the power of our observation, which is intention, which is working directly with the goddess and imprinting in her dream mind. You have to think, if we are in the lucid dream of the goddess, you might have a lucid dream and all the characters around you are technically of your mind. It's what we're experiencing right now. We are in the mind of the goddess. We are her dream beings, her wonderful dream children that get to interact with her on a way that is lucid, that is interactive, and that is a beautiful two-way street. She is from above, so are we, and here we are below. Here we are with her, and we can even take the below further and go into the core of her and connect from the pleroma all the way to the core of our planet, and allow that frequency, that idea, to harmonize our life completely, because it really does. It really adds this frequency and vibration of harmony in our life that is connecting with her, connecting with the goddess directly, that allows miracles to happen in our life, it allows blessings to come in, it allows us to receive, it allows us to feel love and care and beauty. And that is why she is available to us, is to give us those frequencies and to keep giving them to us, to keep it coming. She has a bajillion hands to give us everything that we need all the time. She is pouring out, and we just need to catch it. We just need to recognize her. We need to be with her, observe her, because that observation of her allows her frequency to be in our life, and she can then reorganize things in the most harmonious way for us. And that is the most beautiful way to look at Baphomet, I think. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Much love and beauty to you all, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.